then sleep another 5 hours.
Hello everybody. Hi, hello. Welcome to another Tuesday tutorial. We are very excited to see you again today. I am Amber. I will be taking your questions and comments as they come up. And this is the wonderful Janae.
Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
I will be demonstrating our look today, which is super exciting.
Yes. So if you want to say hi and put where you're watching from in the comments, we always love that.
Always love it.
Fun.
Go for it. Yes. Today's look is going to be 1920s inspired, old silent movie film star era inspired. We're talking about Louise Brooks today. Louise Brooks is a beautiful goddess of the silver screen from the early days of film. She had a very, very flapper look. When you think flapper, that's what she looked like. The bobbed
you're
hair.
Thinking of her.
Yes, exactly. So it's really fun to do the lips like Louise today because those little bee-stung flapper lips were absolutely a big part of her look and what she was kind of known for. And so that's going to be really fun, and I'm really looking forward to doing that with you today. I tried to give myself a 20s inspired look today. So I've got my flappery, smoky eye kind of look going on.
Smoky eye happening.
A
Very
la
pretty.
Louise Brooks. I did a faux bob. I've got my hair,
Yay.
little. Yay, that's so fun. So it's really exciting. So if you're watching along at home, I encourage you to channel the 20s right now. Just get into that.
Yes.
Get in that mind state. If you live somewhere in the world where it's after 5 o'clock, grab yourself a cocktail, turn on the Cole Porter. I mean, where who knows what you're doing, what time it is, who cares?
Nowadays, it's all
that's
up
all
for
the
grabs.
same. It's 1 o'clock
Whatever
here,
you
so
want to
not
do.
for me, but depending on where you are, have fun. Get on your Charleston shoes, and just really get yourself in the zone, thinking back to about 100 years ago. And that's the look we're going to be doing today, which is so much fun.
I just wanted to quickly say that Sarah Flanagan said that we both had Madame Leona looks, which I thought is a great compliment.
Ooh.
Madame Leona from the Haunted Mansion.
Love that.
That's one of the nicest things I've ever heard.
Really? Thank you. Hurry back. Hurry back.
That is amazing. Yes, Natalie. Oh, she's in England, and so it's 9 p.m. So she'll have a cocktail.
Go for it.
Excellent. So we're doing a darker vampire lip look. You can follow along for the shaping and things like that. And this is also 20s styling. So if you have questions about styling a darker lip or 20s style or stuff like that, you can feel free to ask that as we go along.
Absolutely.
And also if we might go over other tips of like styling darker lips for different kinds of looks. Who knows? Whatever we have questions for and time, we will do that. Someone did ask very specifically about my glasses, so I will say they're from Zenni Optical. They are not sponsoring us in any way.
Everybody
that's where they're
asks
from.
that. Everybody loves your glasses, and they always ask that, and I love that so much. So fun.
Very fun glasses. Yes, not period appropriate for the 20s. I apologize. I don't have 20s glasses today, but maybe next time. So go ahead and what do we need to get started today?
All right, awesome. So before we get started, I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about common themes of Louise Brooks's look. So I think we have a picture we can pop up. And we can take a look. So, of course, there are so many beautiful images of her out there. And through the years, her look changes, but not much. Like, she pretty much stuck to a very iconic look, and the changes were minimal. And especially, it was the thing that I love about this era in terms of all of its art, all of its, style, fashion, is that everything was very much about shapes, lines, very geometric. So when you think Art Deco, and you think Art Deco architecture, things like that, we're talking like diamond shapes, lines, even like circles and just all kinds of shapes. And that's really going to come in handy today when we're doing our look. We're going to be thinking about line shapes, angles. And when you think about Louise Brooks and you think about the way that she does her makeup, you'll notice that everything is very much lines, right? Like her eyes kind of are coming out in lines. Her eyebrows were completely straight. There was no arch at all. And I kind of tried to do that myself today, but I do have a natural arch. My brows are a bit thicker than hers too, because thin brows were the style back then. But she was very like, it gave her a very serious look, right? It gave her those deep set eyes that were very like haunting almost, right? They pulled you in. And so we've got, straight across like geometric brows, geometric straight across eyes, where she really brought out her shadow to kind of elongate the eye. Cheekbones really accentuated by her hair, which was a super short bob that came right to the cheekbone. So it was, again, bringing those angles in. She had bangs that right across, again, we're talking lines
straight.
all the way. And her lips were also this way. So her lips, sometimes when we think 20s lips, we think more of like a cartoon version that's a little more like a little circle, little like boop, 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 pouty Betty Boop style. But oftentimes we see more that they actually were very much following the natural shape of their lip and keeping it almost very like thin toward the outside corners, but then just peeking it up in the Cupid's bow and giving themselves a fuller bottom lip, just by a little, not exaggerated. So you can see that with Louise Brooks's look, how she did her lips. I encourage you to look up even more pictures of her because she's beautiful, and the more you see, the more you'll kind of understand and see what I'm talking about with the lines and the angles that she did her makeup. And again, I would say this is true for most famous women of this time and how they did their makeup. So with all that being said, that's what we're going to focus on when we do our lips today. We're going to really be focusing on using different colors for different shadowing effects, because also something that I've noticed is that I believe Louise Brooks, and I can't confirm this, but just based on the pictures I've looked at and, everything I've tried to dive into, I believe she used more than one lipstick. She would be photographed and on film in black and white. And so oftentimes the colors that they used to get across dimension in black and white were kind of crazy colors. Sometimes, you'd be surprised if you were to see the makeup they were wearing. There might be like yellows and greens going on their face, and their lips might actually be like vampy black. But what I notice is the outer line is always the darkest. And then right here in the bottom lip in the center was a lot lighter or brighter. So since we're not in black and white, we're in color, we're only going to be sticking with reds, no yellows or greens or blacks in our lips today. because we do want this to be a lip that if you wanted to incorporate it into an everyday look, you absolutely can. So even though I look a little bit on the costumey side today, that's just for me, that's just for fun, and you can do that too. But if you ever wanted to use this technique in an everyday look just to give your lips a little something special, or do like a modern take on a 20s inspired look with a modern smoky eye and then use this lip technique, you will absolutely be able to do that. So we're going to make a 20s lip like Louise Brooks, a very versatile lip for 2020. So
Yay.
that's super fun. Anyway, so as I was saying, we're going to use multiple colors. I've done this before. We did a video on lip contour using 2 different lip colors in one, and that was a lip like Marilyn. So I encourage you to check that one out back on our channel. It was a couple months ago.
We have a whole playlist just of Tuesday tutorials, so you can find it in there pretty easy.
Yes. And so that was my first take on how to do that. And today we're going to be doing that again, and your best friend for today's lip look is going to be a lip brush, because we are really working on those lines, and to get them precise, we're going to want to use a brush. So I'm going to use 3 different colors today. Exciting. I'm using, my darkest is Noir Red. My medium color is going to be Blood Red, which is still pretty dark, but we're going for a dramatic, dark, vampy lip. So that's what we're doing. So Blood Red's going to be, oh, can you hear me? Am I still here? Yep. Okay, I don't know what happened. And I'm not hearing Amber. I'm going to keep going. I've lost Amber. Hopefully you guys still see Amber. But I'm going to keep going. So, okay, so where was I? Noir Red, Blood Red is my medium color, and then Forever Red is going to be my lightest color. All of these, again, are darker shades, I would say, of all the reds that Besame has. But they are still going to be what we're working with today. Okay, so let's get started. Amber, are you with me? Are you here? Yes. Okay, hold on. I'm still having trouble hearing you. Guys, bear with me 1 second. Again, we're at our homes. I'm having trouble hearing Amber. And just give me 1 minute. Take this opportunity.
Oh my gosh, why is this happening?
Okay, now I've got Amber.
There you go.
Okay.
Yay,
okay.
all right.
Oh, wow. Sorry,
What a
guys.
world.
Sorry about that. Thanks for bearing with me. If you've watched us before, you know sometimes these technical difficulties can happen because we are social distancing. We're doing this from our homes, and you know we're doing this in opposite places, and sometimes it's just a little complicated.
Yeah,
you know, gotta do what you gotta do.
I have to use my phone for the camera, and then a call came through, and that ruined everything.
Oh my gosh!
I learned.
Oh my gosh!
And shows how few phone calls I get, because
so okay,
very taken aback.
I'm going to be starting with Blood Red, which, as I said, was my like middle color for this look. So that's what I'm going to start with instead of the darker or the lighter. I'm going to load up my brush, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick to my natural lip shape. Now, I feel like I kind of already have a good lip shape for this look, so I'm kind of fortunate that way. But no matter what your lip shape is, this should still totally work for you.
And with this too, you want to, and especially like I have thinner lips, and sometimes it's better to start again just with your real natural line. Because if you think of accentuating that Cupid's bow kind of first thing, it can be harder just to find the balance of it.
Exactly.
So just going with your natural line is an easy way to make it kind of blend and build a little easier.
So that's exactly right, and that's what I'm doing, just sticking with my natural lip. And actually, I'm going to err on the side of going less than. So sometimes, you know, you can go on, you find that lip line, you can line it right on it, a little bit on the outside or a little bit on the inside. I say for now, stick to the inside. Stick to the inside. And just...
And when you are using these darker colors too, it is good to use a brush, maybe even use like a little tiny bit less on your brush just at first, because building is always easier than when you're like, oops, let's try to wipe this off.
Just fill in that lip. And then on the bottom lip, I'm going to leave the center open or very, very light. I already got some kind of in the center, so I'm not going to go back over that. And actually, I forgot to mention that I started with some concealer on my lips. This is completely optional. The reason I did it was to help dramatize this look, but the downside of using concealer on your lip first is that it's probably going to dry your lip out, and sometimes concealer is not the best thing to put on your lips. So again, totally optional. If you're gonna do like a costumey look just for like a night or a party or something like that, go for it. If it's like something you want to wear all day for a whole look, maybe don't do the concealer just because it's gonna be uncomfortable and your lips probably won't like it. So, but I did do that just to kind of start with more of a blank slate.
And it is good when you're doing a look like this to keep concealer nearby, because anything with a darker red especially, and as you're kind of playing around with your lip shape, a little bit of concealer on the edges and stuff like that can really help you out in helping to shape things. So it is good to keep that nearby, and whether you use it on your lips or not, it's just totally up to you.
Okay.
Yay, that looks so pretty.
Thank you. So this is so far all I've done, just the blood red, and that's it. Again, following my natural lip shape, but staying slightly inside the lines, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. So next, what am I going to do? It's actually going faster than I thought it would. That's exciting.
I know.
Goes to show it's not that complicated. So next I'm going to take my darker color, Noir Red. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And we're going to... Here's the key with this. This is what we're going to use to be our outline. So kind of like our lip liner. Okay? So the important part is that we go very light-handed on this. Very light-handed. So even don't load up your brush all that much, okay? So I put my blood red on one side, so I'm going to flip it and put this color on the other side, and just on the very, very tippy tip, just a little bit. And then, like I said, when we make these strokes, go light-handed. Don't smush, don't go heavy-handed at all. Very light. And what we're going to do is we're going to find our Cupid's bow, and we're going to make sort of a capital M shape. So find your natural peaks in your lips if you do have that, and then just exaggerate it. So go a little lower than the low point and a little higher than the high point, but not by a lot, just a little bit. And that's where we're going to start. And I'm not going to talk while I do this because I really have to focus. So Amber, take it away.
Really hard. And with things like this, so we kind of have two options today. So you can have this more layered look, which like Janae said, Louise Brooks often had to wear different kinds of makeup, and also even just the contrast of the film at the time was so high contrast that just getting a little bit of reflection of shine from the middle of her lips may have looked like a drastically different lip color. So we're kind of replicating what her photos look like, more so than maybe what she was wearing on, actually on the set that day, because sometimes she would be wearing actual straight black with nothing else. So again, we're kind of using these other tools to get the effect of that very high contrast photography in a cool way. And then if you want one that's simpler and just as dramatic, so what I'm wearing is I'm just wearing Noir Red today, and I don't have a super fancy lip shape going on, but it still kind of evokes the mood of it because it's so dark and it's just such that like 20s vamp kind of feeling. So we kind of have two little options for you today. And if you have questions about them or styling dark lips in any other way, please let us know. So yes, you're just making your little M there, right?
Yeah. I kind of smeared a little.
Excellent.
Oh, well.
That's okay.
So as you can see, think of a capital M, and that's what we got. So the very first thing I did, instead of just starting with the line, was I just made dots. I made a dot where I wanted my low point to be, and 2 dots where I wanted my high points to be, and then I connect the dots. And in bringing out the sides, I'm not going down very far, and I'm sort of blending it as I go on the side here.
In these two, it's like do a little bit and build it up rather than big movement. So similar to some of our tutorials on doing eyeliner, that's
Yeah,
kind of the same thing of you don't always necessarily have to just do like one swoosh and you're done.
right.
Little kind of movements can help you even with lipstick.
So next,
Yay.
like we mentioned, Louise Brooks's lips were again very like straight line, just like the rest of her eyes, brows, bangs, everything. So to do that, we want to accentuate the corners of the mouth ever so slightly, ever so slightly. If we go too crazy with this, we're going to end up looking like the Joker, and that's not really the look we're going for today. At
Not
least I'm
today.
not today.
Yeah, you could
So
do what you
again,
want to do, but
I'm still using Noir Red on my brush, very light-handed. I'm just gonna go in and just little bitty, add little tiny lines, and you'll see the effect once I close my mouth of how this is gonna look.
and what's cool about this is these are fun things to try out, and then you might find, okay, that's like a more period accurate way to do it, but it's not how I like to do it. And you can try something else. Or you might find that like extending this little bit on your lips might look excellent for everyday wear. So these kind of period things are cool ways to even like discover more of what looks awesome on you.
Do you
Yay.
see this? Just
Yes,
this
yeah. Just that
makes the
tiny
smallest
bit.
bit of difference. And I'm actually not even doing a line. It's more like a triangle shape.
Uh-huh. Where it's just kind of filling in that little extra bit on the corners of the lips there. Just a touch. And what's cool is a lot of times with 20s lips, people don't tell you to do that. They'll tell you the opposite, kind of just fill the middle and exaggerate the cupid's bow. But as you can see from those pictures of Louise, she doesn't have that. It's very elongated and it does, yeah, match just those very angular, like beautifully severe kind of look.
And
Yes,
if
that's
you have a
cool.
downturned mouth and doing this makes you look a little bit frowny, that's actually fine for this look because I feel like the 20s was all these like very sad doll shaped faces and
Yes, the
eyes, and
eyebrows
everybody
making you
was
look
like,
sad.
I'm so sad, I'm so cute, I'm so sad, like cute, sad, frowny baby. So that's that's fine. That's
Cute,
fine.
sad, frowny
Lean
baby. Yeah.
into it. If that's what you got, just lean into it. Okay, the last step we're going to do with our Noir Red is to add an outline to the bottom lip to make it look fuller. So it's what I'm going to do without actually doing it. I'm just going to go right here,
And that's
just
just
right there.
underneath your bottom lip.
And this is the only place we're going to really want to go outside the line more heavy than the rest. So these were slightly outside the line. This is slightly outside the line, but just like itty bitty tiny. We can do more just right here because that's really going to add this pouty lip again. Frowny baby. Uh, so that's what we're doing. Just a little bit, and then as you do it to make it not such a harsh line, just sort of start to blend upward into the blood red to mix it together. Again, it's like we're adding a shadow down there to really
Mm-hmm.
give that overly pouty little lip.
And this is a great thing to use for kind of any shape lip. And it doesn't have to always be so dark. So like in our Maryland one, we used, red hot red. So this is something where you could use any shades, and one shade that's slightly darker than the other you can use, especially at the bottom lip and in the corners, to just give that added dimension.
And a tip
Yeah.
that I'll give you that I just did, I put my tongue like this
Mhm.
over my teeth to kind of push out the skin to
Yeah,
really be able to see that line like this.
that is a good tip.
And then there we go. Now we've got like this little shadow, just adding this shape, right? And so if you'll notice, I didn't line my entire lips, and it is a little bit blotted in these places. And that actually is something that was very common with this look, to be authentic, to be historically accurate. Again, when we see costumey, sometimes we see very harsh lines, and we see that little like boop, 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 tiny mouth.
Hmm.
And if that's what you want to go for, that's fine. I'm kind of again just really focusing on what Louise would have done and what was authentic to the time. Once you kind of talk more, blot more, you start getting more of that line, just more even out. So the last step we're going to do is use Forever Red.
And CM asked that we're not connecting any of the Noir Red lines. You're just blending the edges, right? Yeah.
That is correct. That is
And
correct.
as it all blends together, it really looks seamless and kind of gives you that like almost more contoured look than a like line, fill kind of look.
Totally. Now, the only place I'm going to put Forever Red is right here where the light would hit to make it the brightest spot. And again, I encourage you, look up any picture of Louise Brooks and you're going to notice that she has a very light spot right here on this lip, to the point where sometimes I wonder if they powdered it or if they put something kind of like Marilyn did, like a reflective type of, shadow there. But it might just be a very light lipstick. And so that's what we're doing while still staying in. There are brighter lipsticks. You could use Best May Red. You could use Victory Red. I wanted to use Forever to kind of keep everything within the same color zone, if you will. And these are also all the lipsticks from the 20s, and the Noir is 1930. So very much accurate to the period. And so I'm not even going to use a brush with this. I'm just going to apply it right on there.
And those lipsticks and makeup they used in the 20s were often so greasy. They really were just like sticks of grease in a way. It was called grease paint for a reason. So even that could be part of it. So it's cool that we don't have to put like gross paint like that on our face. We get to have nice, beautiful things and still get the same kind of look. And you can see, it just adds that dimension. Like if I were looking at you, I wouldn't think, oh, you're certainly wearing 3 lipsticks today, Janae. I would
not very obvious,
like,
is it?
It looks so pretty.
So, and what's nice about applying it with the lipstick, like I did instead of a brush for this one, is that you get more of the satin sheen, which is going to, again, help with that like little reflection right on the pouty lip. And the color of Forever Red is so gorgeous and so red, like it's like, I almost want to say like it's a juicy red kind of, that it's just warming up the whole look. So we have the very cool and purpley tones of Noir on the outside, but then when you add that Forever, I think I can tell it just added warmth like right away. So this is what we did.
Yay! It's so pretty. And you can see, and like, compared to mine where I just have one lipstick on, it's very dark. They're very, very different looks. And it's not to say you can't wear just dark lips and do that. That's period accurate in a different way, because that's what people usually, non-actors would have been doing. But also if you want something that is just a little more fun and a little more intricate and definitely like increases the fullness of your lips, that 3-tone look is really cool. And like you said, Janae, it really did not take that long, because you were explaining how to do it and talking through and listening to me the whole time. And it still took like less than 20 minutes to do. So if you're doing it on your own, it's a lot more easy and attainable than it might seem like it is.
Do I look like a sad, frowny baby?
I mean, that
of
sounds
the 20s?
Bad. Yeah, of the 20s, yes. I wouldn't in general call you a sad, frowny baby.
No, but that's what I want when I look like Louise Brooks. I'm very serious.
It is. It's very good, serious.
I wonder what was the reason behind that trend, I wonder. I mean, I'm sure there's so much that goes into it.
Well, part of it, Sarah said that photos took so long. She's like, photos took so long to take, I'd be pouting too, which
good point.
Is an excellent point.
Yeah, it would be hard to hold a smile.
Oh, yes. It is why so many people in the past look so unhappy. But yeah, it's just funny that in the 20s, it was this time of such luxury and everyone was like, it was cool to be sad. And then the 30s came along. They're like, ooh, now we're actually sad. Oh boy, this is different. But yeah, it's a fun, weird look. Yay. I think that looks so pretty on you, Janae.
Thank you.
And what's fun is these 20s looks are kind of like the opposite of, so makeup advice for a lot of more modern looks is like, if you have a dark lip, then you pair it with like very light, eyes, something very neutral, nothing too much. But the 20s were the exact opposite. It's like, do it all eyes,
do it all. Yeah.
And I think that's fun. So if you ever want to, you could pair something like this with just like a very neutral kind of eye with maybe an eyeliner, like a brown eyeliner even, for something if you wanted a slightly more subdued look. But I think for nighttime especially, this is very pretty. And I would happily wear it myself. So I'm wearing Noir Red, and Janae used Noir, Blood Red, and Forever Red.
Yes.
And, my little twist today does not have to do with our lipstick because I'm wearing Noir Red, but it's kind of a secret twist that I can't unveil all of. So what that means is we have a new collection coming out. Is the Lucille Ball collection.
Have you
It comes
heard?
out
Did you know
on
that?
Thursday.
We're so excited.
It's on Instagram. I'm very excited about it. So it comes out on Thursday, and we'll have more of the full unveiling then. But on my eyes, what I'm wearing is all the Lucy collection. It's exclusively Lucy collection stuff on my eyes. So I won't give you any more details than that. It's a very vague twist
It is.
today.
Wow.
The twist that will require another twist. So I'm really going crazy with it. But yeah, so if you're interested
And your eyes
in
do
that,
look
our Lucy
beautiful.
collection, we got too. Oh, thanks. So yeah, it's stuff from the Lucy collection. It's a very exciting one. So yes, that's coming up on Thursday. So tune in. We'll be talking about it later. We're going to be doing all kinds of other tutorials as well, but we will be talking about that more soon.
It's true. You just might see some of those products here in the future, in the very near future. So if you want to follow along in the future, you may consider checking out the collection when it launches. Just putting that out there. We can't say more, but
and our collection launches at noon Pacific time on Thursday, because we did have people ask about that. So noon Pacific, and yeah, keep an eye out for it. Now back to our 20s vibes. To help you get this look, we are giving a code for 15% off of Noir Red. And again, Noir is a very good layerable color, because having that dark to just wear plain is cool, and having it to like give depth, it really works, and it blends so nicely into colors if you want something that's less dramatic. So that code is Noir15, and it is good for 2 days. So it's good for 48 hours. It'll be good till June 25th at 3:30 p.m. And that's 15% off of Noir Red. It's a good one. And you know, I know it's getting warm outside, but it doesn't mean you have to just wear light lipsticks all the time. Sometimes, I mean, especially now, it's the time to play around with lipstick, do something different, have
some
fun.
of us are already looking forward to Halloween, even though it's far away.
Yes.
Some of us are spooky girls at heart, and so we wear these browns and these dark colors anyway. You know, just some of us sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know anybody in particular. I think Janae and I both saw gifs of Sweeney Todd, the movie, and both were like, should I dress like Mrs. Lovett forever? So
yeah,
anyway,
we did do that.
That's more of me thinking that. Me like, how many stripes can I wear now? Anyhow, just some fun. We had a quick question about Lucy. The Lucy collection will be available in our boutique and online for sure. So yes, there's our code. Thank you guys again for joining us. This is a beautiful look. I think Janae really looks so stunning and pretty. And thank you guys again for watching. We will be back next Tuesday with another tutorial, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.